Hey guys,
All right.
welcome to Dojocast episode 4. What?
This is it.
Doing
This
a
is
little
happening.
a bit of kickoff action. The name's Bepler, and hey, I'm gonna be your host tonight. Who else is here?
Well, I am Yellow. You might know me as the quotations, air quotes, the intro guy on the dojo. I have a bunch of intros, and that's basically what I do. So, yeah.
Hyun, action.
And okay, I am Yun. I do a lot of videos, mainly music videos, and you might also know me as the pony animator guy. And
Yeah.
you might not know, but I also do some motion graphics and typography in my own little time.
That's us, guys. We are rocking it tonight on the Dojocast episode 4. It's just the three of us. We're taking the numbers down with every episode. By episode 6, it's just going to be one person, and then
Or
7
half
will
a
be
person.
dead silence. You know, we might get a negative person at some point. Who even knows?
That's
So-
confirmed for season 2 is negative people.
Before we start everything off and dive head first, guys, we want to get a couple things out of the way. Now, we've called this the typography episode for quite a long time, and that's a semi-accurate but not quite summary of what's gonna be the case of
It's
things.
just for people, for common understanding, so that people actually tune in. Because, so continue.
It's kind of not a well known about set of here. Let's get the thing apart, guys. We're gonna give some definitions. Typography, you've heard of it, right? Oh, what is it? It's when things move across the screen. No, but not.
Not.
Typography is just text, okay? Guys, think about it. You see the letters you write in your own language. Typography is the letters on the screen, or on the paper, or anything. It's when you use language written down to get a message across. It's about that message.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's talk graphics. Graphics are anything else that is like exclusively not symbols specific. It's just visual stuff that you use to get a message across. Lastly, let's talk about that kinetic. You've heard of kinetic typographies, right? Kinetic anything. It just means motion.
Yep.
And usually in the terms we talk about it, it's motion happening on a screen in front of you. But it could be anything. You could have a kinetic seagull.
So we got typography,
Mhm.
which is just text, right? That's the characters. That's pictograph images.
You taking notes,
to
Hyun?
display. Yep. And then we got kinetic, which is just movement, and we got graphic design, which is anything that's not text that still displays a message. So you could even call motion graphics kinetic graphics because it's just graphics that are in motion.
Okay, done and dealt. We don't want any confusion when we're spatting out words with our mouth things on this lovely little episode. Done and dealt. So, hey, guys, later I'm going to be doing a little announcement about something that's happening, maybe a bit of a collaboration, and I've been kind of reaching. I've been streaming every now and then, and I'm trying to organize something. A typography collab. I'm gonna give out my voice, and then people are gonna animate to it. But more on that later. More
More on that later. We'll talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we just hop into it?
Hey, I want to say how it all began,
All right.
if I may.
Mhm.
I remember a while back ago. I was in some odd 6th grade, and we had a little project. And I had been 6th grade. It was 8th grade, and I was fat, and we had to do a class project, and we had to do something, talk about the women's rights movement, and I thought to myself, hey, I can animate stick figures pretty badly, and
Yeah.
I can do some effects with my mouse. This was the pre-tablet days.
Right.
I thought, hey, maybe I just put some words on screen, do like those PowerPoint transitions that are so sweet, and make it with Flash. Get some motion blur going on. And I made this short little 1-minute thing, and I showed it to everybody, and they were like, what? Was that like a legit commercial?
So Bepler, before that, had you been inspired by any other real world typography that other people had made, or was it just your idea to make moving text in Flash?
I'm trying to think it. I mean, I can't imagine that there was never a time in my life that I hadn't seen a music video that had words moving.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think it was kind of just like, hey, here's this thing, Flash that makes stuff move. I need to use words. So
I think that's pretty cool. That tells you something about like how easy it is, how accessible it is. Because really, it's a simple idea. It's just moving text, and you got to make it interesting. You got to send the message in an interesting way. So.
Yeah.
Because you don't even need to tween either. God, if I learned anything, more often than not, hand animated stuff like motion graphics and whatnot, and text, it just looks more. It's more raw and it's nice.
And I have a lot of people coming to me, ask me like, this guy made this in After Effects. Why aren't you using After Effects? And that's why, because After Effects is just a program with presets and tweens. Like, what I want to do is hands-on animation. If I want something in my brain, I have it in my brain, I want to put it down, I use Flash because it's the most accessible program.
Still draw in Flash to this day. No, coming from somebody who has just come from After Effects. Yoon, thoughts on the After Effects?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's more of presets and all of that other jazzy kind of stuff where you could just take something that's already pre-made and then just fit it all around with it with the text, and then yeah, you're good. Though it's not always about presets and all that kind of stuff. You can actually create your own stuff hands-on, like just make little tiny details here and there. Like basically saying it's not always the presets. You can always make it yourself, and it might not be as easy as Flash. And like how Yellow said it, it's a lot less accessible than Flash is. But with that, it's more of a difficult process and more of a higher learning curve. But at the end, if you're to get the idea of how to actually fool around or actually do legit stuff in After Effects, it's definitely worth the, getting the actual.
Yeah, I think it's more about just the automation. Like if I wanted to have something in Flash where it's just like an effect that goes around in a circle or like a kaleidoscope effect, that would be so hard to make in Flash. But in After Effects, it's just a button click away.
They're just vastly different. One's build it up from the ground. One's take what's already built and change it a little bit. Not to say that After Effects is bad, but I think it results in a lot of falling back on things. I don't know. It takes a step for you.
At least you should start out in Flash, because that's the easiest way to get your ideas down. And then once you have that experience, definitely move on to After Effects for some more like time-saving clicks.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Hey, Yellow, say you're working on something fantastic and you're digging it and it's a feel good.
Oh, I got a lot of those, man.
Yeah.
It's a feel good all around.
How long might it take you? Maybe for the motion graphics vein of things, like you're sat there, how many hours or minutes for 1 second of final product?
Well, I mean, that's the same as asking sort of in an animation standpoint, like how long will it take you to do an animation about a potato? Well, it's like that's kind of an ambiguous question, because you could make the potato have legs, you could make it be a full body potato, which would kind of look weird, but it's all about like the vision you have in your brain and how long that takes to put on paper. But usually if I actually wanted to tackle this, because part of the issue with intros and motion graphics in general is the most important thing is the ideas, because the ideas, if someone comes to you and they say, I want an intro, it's not like you have it immediately in your head and you go into Flash and you make the intro and then that's how long it takes. It usually takes me around a day to 2 days to make the intro, but in general, the most time that it takes is a week for the idea to get into your head of how to display the message that you want to get across, which is what graphics is all about.
Keeping it smooth, keeping things smooth is so finicky and play with it kind of things.
Yeah.
You and I remember seeing that thing you made a long time ago, but then it wasn't finished, but then I saw it finished just recently. You had like stuff you had the screen getting like pushed up and down and into it. Guys, we'll link it somewhere later. But like super smooth, super flowy. And that's that's just the way it's gotta be.
Yeah.
I think when you start out with something where it's like I have to make this sentence look good, you can just slap down the sentence. Like you can just make it appear on screen, and that'll take a second. Or you can tweet it in one word at a time, or one letter at a time, or whatever. And before you know it, you've been working on something for 3 hours.
But that's where the creativity comes in.
That's where the playing field becomes the life.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of field is as creative as any. Like, it takes a certain kind of experience and creative mind to figure out how you want to display the message. And the most exciting part is, you've worked on something, like Bepler said, for hours on end, and you finally export it, and it just looks all together, even though it's just built up of a bunch of mini ideas.
Mm-hmm. God, I love it when you see things that you've been working on one piece at a time come in end to end. So much of a relief. It's like,
oh yeah,
when you look at something up close, it's ugly, like a stain. But then you step back and it's just a bunch of stains.
So I wanted to talk about like career and like jobs and stuff like that. Like what have we done to take this and make it into a living? Have any of you done that?
Well, career-wise, I actually started probably when I was a sophomore in high school, which is like 2 years ago. It started out during the summer. During the summertime of 2011 or 2012, I think, probably 2011. But I was looking through YouTube for any kind of animation jobs just for the heck of it, because my mom and dad had been constantly telling me to look for a job, and I'm like, why not just look for a job online? So I was looking through YouTube just to see if there are any ongoing animation projects, and then I found one called Double Rainbow by a college student, and I'm all like, this looks interesting. They need an animator, so why not try out? So I sent an email showcasing and then showing them all of the animation stuff that I made, and then it's been about like a week or so since I got a response, and then on my birthday they finally sent me an email back saying you've been accepted into the project, and I'm all like really excited about that, because this is like a really big thing. If you guys didn't know, Double Rainbow was a 30-minute tribute film of My Little Pony. I'm sorry, but whatever. But like this is like a really big thing for me, because not because this is a college project, but this is like a really big film that would get a lot of recognition. And so while we were working on this, and then once we released it, the director for the project came up to me and asked me, hey, do you want to be a part of this other project that we're going to be working on called True Tale? And at first I was all like, what's True Tale? And then he told me, well, we're planning on getting this picked up by a TV studio to make it a legit television show. And once when I heard that, I freaked out, and I literally jumped up and down, and I was all like, oh my god, yes, I want to join this. And up until this point...
Wow, when you're a sophomore too.
Yeah, this was when I was a junior, actually.
Okay.
That sounds like a jump up and down moment.
Yeah, this was like a really happy moment for me, because I'm actually gonna get paid for this.
Yeah, so. I remember I had a few moments like that, because I had a business from the animation community. I kind of left that in 2011, and right at the beginning of 2012, I started my own company. Basically, I had a website and everything. It was basically just making intros for YouTube people. And so I didn't know originally that I could get money for it, but until someone came up and said, wow, you're like really good for this, you should don't be afraid to ask for money. And so then I did, and I got a lot of money. I think I raised like around $300 from the 2 years that I did it.
Oh.
So yeah, so that happened, and that's where all of the 50 introductions come from on my dojo. And yeah, it's really exciting when you get that Skype message that says like, I'm willing to pay, like, shell out $50 for a complete redesign of my YouTube channel. So
There were some rockin' intros, Yellow. Just,
Oh,
I love
oh
to
my
sit
god!
back
I
and
am
look at them.
I am envious of those intros. Like, oh my
Thank you.
god, I want to make something like that.
It just takes time, like, to get your mind to that point where you get that workflow going. And there's one jump up and down moment when I think I was still like banned from the stick page IRC, but like that's happened a couple times. Don't ask me about that.
Yellow,
But
I'm curious. Why did you get banned the first time?
I was just an idiot. But anyway, so I was banned from Stick Page, the channel, IRC channel, and it was funny because Stone saw my intros on the dojo, and he was like, "Oh my god, this guy is cool." And he Skyped me, and he was like, "Do you want to do an intro for me for a project that I'm doing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll totally do it." And so he paid me, and I made a intro for him. I don't exactly know what happened to that project, but it was just really cool to see like the head of Fluid Anims at the time come up to me and say, "Make me an intro."
Very, very cool, Yellow. Inspiring. Mouth-watering. I'm sweating already.
Top to
I-
bottom, I'm
I've-
sweating.
I've only ever had one typography-based pay me make happen. It was through my school.
Oh.
One of the same teachers who saw the very first thing. They were like, and then they went to the principal. So they got me, and they said, "Hey, we were doing this thing where we wanted."
What is that? What was that noise?
Oh, that was like the Peanuts trombone muffling of an adult.
Wah, 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 wah.
Ollie, it's not how they talk at all. That's just me. So they were like, "Hey, we want you to do this thing," and they said, "da da da," and I said, make a little bitty little dough." And they said, "Well, not too much."
Not too much.
But then I did it. I did it in like one night, and that was all right.
Wait, how much was it? You gotta say.
It's irreverent. It doesn't matter. I'll spat it out at the end of the cast.
Was it like 50 cents?
Let's move on. Let's not focus on how insignificant.
Well, I got paid by my school too, and that was another jump up and down moment. I've had a lot of those.
Oh yeah, same
Tell
here.
me, Yellow.
They wanted me, so they're having this like fundraiser thing. They called it the Turkey Trot. This was in 2012. It was like a marathon where they run for like I don't know what charity it was for, but something like that. And they wanted me to make a T-shirt for it.
Do turkeys
So
run?
they trot.
But it's not people? You said they.
Well, it's called the Turkey Trot, but it's not like an annual race for turkeys.
Are you positive? Okay, just move on. Just step forward.
Okay.
It's a marathon, so people are running the marathon.
People. Okay.
They wanted, yeah, obviously.
You call something
I
the
would
turkey
love to
trot.
see that. I
Go.
would love to see just like a group of turkeys just running down the street with like the little numbers on their chest.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anyway, so they wanted me to make that, and it was my principal that actually came to me and said she wanted me to do it. So I did it, and I even had my graphic design teacher, who was awesome, help me out with it, and I finished it, and she paid me like $25 for it. And the coolest part was just to see like even years after people wearing that same shirt from that event with my design on it.
Ooh.
Wow, that's pretty fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was just a design.
Yeah, it was just a design.
Was it a turkey?
It had a turkey in it. It actually had like the text was masked, and then it had a turkey behind it, like busting through the finish line. I gotta show you it sometime.
Fantastic. Maybe we can post it along with that thing that I mentioned that Hyun made. Hyun, not Hyun. Guys, it's Hyun. If you've ever been curious.
Yeah,
Not Hyun.
Hyun.
So
It's
that's
just
pretty-
because of Hyun, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really sets the bar. You know, I was trying to find him earlier to get his thing for the Dojocast logo, and I searched Yoon on the search in the dojo, and then I hit enter, assuming, but then it took me to Hyun's page. It pulled him up first. Kind of broke my heart a little bit, but you know, what can you do? Yoon, you're not his brother, right?
No, we're not. But we did joke about it when I first joined Fluid Anims.
I'm still not positive, but I think I believe you. Okay, guys. We've talked about all the money that we've made and the money that I haven't made for making things for people. Oh, I did some design work. Wait, that's not true. I did some design. I did a thing for well, that's okay. It's kind of a whole thing. I did this thing called Skills USA, and I made a design of a whale for Washington State of an orca.
Okay.
I guess I didn't really get paid so much as I got like a free flight to Missouri.
Oh.
Ooh.
And they were like, "Hey, we want you to compete at national level for this Washington whale." And they manufactured 2,500 of my things on a little pin.
Oh, wow.
I have a whole bunch of
wow.
them now. And then that got made.
It's cool though, isn't it? Just to see like your materialized design.
Honestly, it was the
2,500
spookiest thing
of
ever.
them.
Walking around. No, 2,500.
Yeah, 2,500.
Walking around, and I saw people with them and trading them around, being like, "Oh, do you have the whale? I've got the whale right here." And they give it back and forth, and I'm just like, I made it. I'm pointing at it, and they don't understand. And then, yeah. Oh, wait, no, that's not true. Wait, I'm an idiot. I did get paid. Wait a minute. I got a $50 check.
Oh my god.
That's right. I went up on stage at the state level when they were like, "We picked your design. You get a ticket to nationals." And then I got a check, and I stood in front of a whole auditorium, and they were like, "We love the whale. Good going, Bepler." They call me Bepler. No, they said Andrew. I'm just joking. And that was fun. God, that's right.
Oh.
What
then-
program did you use to make that?
I used Flash. And
No,
I remember going in.
I mean, what version?
Well, I used Flash 8.
Oh
So,
wow.
I remember going into the interview, and it was about a year ago now, with the lady, and there were a bunch of other kids who had done it in like, you know, Photoshop and mainly Illustrator. I was like, I used Macromedia Flash 8. And she was like, "Sorry?" I'm like, "Oh, it's like an 8-year-old version of Flash." She's like, "Why Flash?" I'm like, "It's my jam."
Everyone who
time-
does work in Flash, it's just constant barrage of like, why don't you use this? Why don't you use that?
For all the
don't
times I did skills and I got told, "Why don't you use Illustrator?" Oh man, $1 every time. Guys, I'd be so rich.
You'd be able to
I have,
pay
like-
for a SoundCloud Pro subscription.
Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. Hey, people, listen, Dojocast audience. I'm just gonna put it out there because I can't
Segue.
stand it anymore. I gotta say it. We're gonna segue it right up. We're dying. Okay. This is Dojocast speaking. We are dying. On SoundCloud, you're only allowed to upload 180 minutes. And I know we're uploading them on YouTube as well on the Hyun's Dojo thing, but we want to have our own little platform for this Dojocast that is getting organized. And it's like $6 or something. Mav, quick, tell me how much it is. It's a low amount of money. It's an obscenely low amount of money.
Yeah.
And we are worried that the Dojocast is going to have to stop because we don't have a platform for it. So I'm making a proposition. I'm making it right now. What if, and I kid you not, people, I made a Dojocast shirt. I could sell it for real cheap. I mean, like, just barely enough money to pay for the SoundCloud account. I'm talking like $10.
High quality.
High quality. That includes
Designs.
like so I'm gonna make 2 shirts because I have 2 black t-shirts, and I'll mail them to you, guys. We need to keep the Dojocast alive. Okay, I'll make a
Need to
shirt.
do it.
You buy it, and then we'll pay for the SoundCloud. Done. Dealt.
It'll be limited edition shirts.
It's so limited because I'm only making 2,
Yep.
and I have everything.
There's only
to make
2
them.
in the world.
They look pretty good. You'll see them. It's gonna blow your socks off. Okay, let's move on
Yep.
from that. Boy, asking for
right.
people to buy shirts. Love it. Uh, hey, you and I never did hear. Why did you start? Why did you pick it up?
What animation?
No, just bugger all the sticking, doing the frames, making the typography.
Okay. Well, the reason why I decided to do typography was because, over when I was young, when I was in like church service and all that kinds of other stuff, I would always end up watching these little cartoon videos, typography videos of like music. Was it some spoken word or something like that? I don't know what they're exactly called, but we were every once in a while on almost every Sunday service we'd watch these little tiny videos of like the Bible, all that kind of stuff, and it was in like this typography kind of way. And as I started picking up Flash, I was like watching more of these typography videos on my own time because it was like really interesting how the text just moves across the screen, makes some sort of like interesting pattern, and always makes these really cool things and all kinds of other stuff. So eventually, I actually questioned myself and asked, what if I were to try a typography video? And so, it was kind of like this, point in time where we were about to have this kind of church retreat, and, they said they were having a talent show. So, I had the idea of making some sort of like typography video of it for it. So, at that point, I just made a really short music video with typography, and that's how I ended up starting to pick up typography.
I thought for a second you were gonna say you went out onto the stage with like a projector and you played your typography as your talent. Like, guys, I made this. I spent 13 hours on this, and now here it is for your eyes. But you made like you made like a promotional thing?
It was more of like well, for the talent show, I made a video, and the point was that my talent was making some animation or something.
Wait, that was the thing? Did you do a projector?
I did put it on the projector.
That's brilliant! wait. So did you go stand there? Did you like have your arms behind your back when it was playing?
No, I was standing in the back with the computer.
Oh, okay.
But so, did you get an applause?
Yeah, I did get an applause.
Oh.
It's like once when the video finished, everyone's just like, "Woo! Oh my god, that was amazing!" And but apparently at the end, I only got like second place because there was a dance group in the town.
Wow.
Only second to the dance group. I mean, how can you compete? Words on a screen?
Dude, I spent my life competing with that dance group idea, you know, like every talent show I went to, you know, I played my piano, I played the entertainer or something, and that dance group always got me, you know.
There's always one though, you know,
stupid
somehow
routine with the boom box. Oh my god.
How do they always spring up? There's always a dance group. That was fairly good.
So, where speaking of that, like where do you guys get your typography ideas? Like where's the end for inspiration for that?
Honestly, I think it's dancing, almost ironically. No, not even a little bit. I see stuff that other people make. Gosh dang it, I do. I absorb it, you know? Mm-hmm. We were talking a little bit about that Apple video they put out with the stringy lines. Hey, I'm like, that looks good. And
it looks great.
And it's like, man, I see it.
We'll have to link that too.
Guys, we're going to have a little bit of a link dump situation.
Yeah.
Aside all, I don't know. I saw To This Day, and that was freaking good. Man,
yeah,
that's why I want to do this collab.
It's just all about inspirations, and the more original the sources that you get your inspiration for the typography, like I'm actually working on a typography right now that's from a poem by Edgar Allan Poe. And so it can be literally from anything. It can be from spoken word, it can be from people talking, it can be from a movie, or it can even be from a piece of historical text or anything like that, like the Bible.
Like if you, almost always, the things that people are matching words to are not things that they've created themselves.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a really cool medium to see something. It's just like a different context, a different way to look at things, and it's full of tweens, and it's beautiful.
It's not always tweens. What are you talking about?
All right, not exclusively, but man, a lot of the time. A lot of After Effects blurring. Guys. No After Effects allowed on the typography collaboration.
Well, excuse me. Gosh.
I don't know how you'd get it.
We gotta
into
compile
Flash.
it. We gotta compile
well,
it.
I'm pretty much a beginner with After Effects. I'm only using After Effects for like the after stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not my main thing.
I see.
That what was it? Real quick, the purple versus green? No, whatever. It's that Chinese guy. You guys saw it, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He did the orange versus blue one to start, and then he did the sequel to it. The second one, when all those explosions go off and everything, and there's that distortion, I'm like, yep, that's After Effects right there.
After Effects.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks good. It's good. It's just different.
Yeah.
That was definitely done after the effects.
There are some things you cannot do beforehand.
Yep.
In the Flash.
They should call it After Flash.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Jeez, we gotta contact Adobe. Contact Chris from Adobe. Hey, how do you feel about After Flash? That'd be good.
Have you guys like had any like formal studying that you've done? Like any books or
No.
any classes in school?
On what? On
graphic design or motion design, kinetic typography?
I took a no. Yes. I took a class called Multimedia Exploration, and it's the stupidest name for the silliest class you could ever take. It was a big smash together program where the teacher had to teach everybody InDesign and Photoshop and Flash. I was like, well, I like Flash, and this was already after like 3 years of animating, or almost 4, I think, and it was awful. We did some stuff
just bad
text and InDesign, just bad, so fast and so not in depth. I ended up teaching the class when it came to the Flash section.
Wow.
She didn't know. I just sat in her chair with her little projector.
We need more graphic design specific classes in school.
Honest though, just like making posters look good, making spacing look good and stuff like the right.
Because I was lucky. I went to a school called Da Vinci Academy, and they had the class was called graphic design, and I took it for 2 years. And it was so cool just to have a class on that, even though, I didn't learn much that I couldn't have learned from books or anything like that. But it was just great because it was all these people like discovering, even though, people aren't that is interested in like junior high. They're just sitting there like, oh, when is this class going to be over? But I was the only guy over there with my little MacBook, and I was like, oh yeah, let's do some typography.
Sounds excellent, Yellow. So, being that odd one out. You.
Whoa.
Formal
It's
teacher.
fun to say fast.
Did you ever take any classes, Hyun?
Read any books?
No, actually, I actually had to self-teach myself everything. The only exception that I've ever had to learn something in like an official class was during a college summer work seminar for like 5 days. Only 5 in those 5 days. We ended up making our own name intro. And this was all done traditionally. So we had to use pencil and paper, the light box, and everything.
Oh my gosh.
That was the only time that I've ever had to learn from a professor.
Well, where did you look when you weren't? I don't know how to do this crap. Where?
I actually the only person or the only tutorials that I ever looked at would be Hyun's. That's basically the only place or the only person that I look to for tutorials.
Oh. Well, for me, I have a bunch of books actually. I have one that's super good. It's called Thinking with Type, and that's the one I've used the most. Just because it goes so in depth with the it's so like categorical. It tells you like the different strokes and like the X height, and it tells you all of that stuff about type. So if you're interested in that kind of finicky stuff, like I was, then it's just called Thinking with Type.
Oh, author, link dump, Amazon books.
What's the author?
Yellow, you can do this. We believe in you.
I can't.
You.
I'm getting
Well,
it.
scratch that, guys. No, don't worry about it, Yellow. We'll find it later. Hey, Yoon, quick, favorite
Yes,
font.
yes.
Go.
Favorite font? Century Gothic.
Century Gothic. No
Yes.
bold.
Ellen Lupton.
Bold.
Ellen
yes.
Lupton, bold all the way. Quick, Yellow. Quick.
Yep.
Favorite font.
Favorite font. I gotta go with.
Quick and all.
I gotta go
Very
with
slow.
avant-garde. Avant-garde.
Brilliant.
Bold.
Letter Gothic STD. Done. Whew. I felt that question.
Wait,
coming
did
on at
Yoon
some
say?
point. Oh yeah, he said you weren't here.
Okay, yeah, I was across the room.
Hey guys. Whoa.
I think we should start talking about what
Well,
we're working on.
I think I
recently.
know what you're headed towards. Guys,
Yeah?
we want to do a little discuss on a step away from the whole text on the screen thing, graphics on the thing.
But
for-
not really. I mean, it's the same kind of thinking process what we're doing here, and we'll explain that in a sec.
Say, Yellow, what is WOCO?
Well,
First
I
of all,
don't
how
know
do
if
you
you
spell it?
guys. It's spelled UOKO. It's really simple. I love it. I
Somehow
love the
that
name.
makes the whoa sound as if there was a W, but don't stress about it.
Yeah. It means nothing. It's just a name. But basically, I don't know if you've seen any GIFs or GIFs, if you prefer GIFs, laying around Dojo. But I am working on a series called Woko, and I'm making good headway on it. And it's basically a really simple series with a simple narrative. And more on that later. You can watch my streams if you want to watch me animate it, but until like the stuff starts coming out, I don't really want to say much about it. But it's gonna be coming at you real soon.
Jeez, it takes a while. Yoon, have
So
you ever made...
Bepler,
Hold
Bepler.
on. Just give me a second.
Okay.
Yoon, have you ever
Alright.
made anything like any serial content? Episode 1, episode 2? Or like Return of the Blank?
What?
Yeah, very good. Have you ever made a sequel, per se?
Let's see. I don't think I've made any continuations actually.
Ever. See, this is...
Ever.
It's brooding in me.
Oh.
It's a brooding Yellow. I'm
Yep,
brooding.
It's all right. It's going.
Hey guys, here, listen, I'm making jeans beans. Now, if you've been to any of my 11-hour streams, you may or may not have seen me working on a bitty little jeans beans.
Yeah.
I'm making a full body series, much like Yellow's, and it's something I've wanted to do for a long, long time. I'm finally not busy enough and don't have enough big life things going on that I think I might be able to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
And we want... Yellow and I want to release these things onto the dojo, and we want it to be a blast.
We got a special name for it.
What would you call these things? Have you use Netflix, right, Yellow?
Yeah, I use the Netflix.
Okay, right.
What's your
so,
point?
What have you heard about Netflix? Aboriginals, Smugiginals, Flirtiginals? Wait, what is it?
It's originals, I think. I think that's the name.
Netflix.
Netflix
Originals.
originals.
That's it.
Yeah,
Do
yeah.
you know of which we speak?
Yeah, do you?
No.
Well,
I've
Really?
I've
You're-
never used Netflix.
you're on the right page. You.
Yep.
Like,
You're doing really good. See, you haven't turned over to Netflix originally. You're still on the dojo. If only the dojo had an outlet for serial content.
And I mean, We could just call it something like Dojo Originals.
Oh, what? What did I just hear? Oh, that was slick. Say it again.
Dojo Originals.
One more time. Into my
Dojo
ears.
Originals.
Like butter pouring into my silky ears.
Dojo
Originals. Sounding
Yellowish buttery goodness.
good, Yellow. See, listen, community, listen, everybody, listen. We want to see more people make more episodic content.
Episodic content. Animated.
Episodic.
Give me some echoes,
want
Yellow. We want serial continuations.
Asians. Oriental people. Oriental people.
We want a part 1, a part 2, a part 6. We want season 1 wrapped and dealt.
Season 1.
We want character development. Not random fighting. Not to say that's a bad thing, but there's a place for it, and that's a place that's becoming a little bit overindulged.
Yeah. We want a story. We want character development. We want themes. We want genres.
And more importantly, we want it to happen with more than just a couple people, guys. I mean, think
more
about
than
this.
just us.
What
We're
if
so
there was
lonely.
a place on the dojo where you could say that, like, there was a spot where it was just your series, like it had its own page, and all the episodes were kept in a little log. I mean, not to say it's gonna happen, but just to ease the suggestion into your heart boxes.
I mean, it's all about that hype, you know. If we can get some other people excited about this as we are, and people willing to dedicate their lives for however long it takes to make a good quality episodic series.
It doesn't have to be a long thing, but people are getting better. Like, we're not blind. We see you out there, and like, there's so many just good animators right now in the dojo.
You see this interest coming in with full body and series.
It's like a wave, and it's washing over me, and I'm drowning. I want to turn that water in my lungs into series in your eyes. Episodic.
Deep.
Episodic content.
HyunStojo.com/TV. Moving on. Let's step back to typography, guys.
So let's. I think right about now, before we go, I think we should bridge that gap between what we're talking about and animation.
I mean, make it happen, Yellow.
All right. So we got this stuff we were talking about, and that might seem a little foreign to you, but what we were trying to say is that it's not. It's the same ideas, the same process as animation, but just put into aesthetic form. So we'll see when we get to the recommendations. I have some ideas for people to use, which is basically to lower your expectations when you're creating something like a full length or a series, and just go for it. Like, you gotta lower those expectations. If you don't want to make a hand, and you don't want to animate that hand, just make it a circle.
Just scribble. If you're ever feeling uncertain, if you're ever feeling like this isn't good enough, you just gotta tell yourself. You just gotta say, what do they gotta say, Yellow?
They gotta say, it's fine.
It's fine, guys.
It's fine.
It's just fine. You know when you spent too long on a thing that won't get seen, and then you're zoomed into some stupid little detail that doesn't matter?
Little pixel.
Just say that it's fine. Zoom out and move on. God, you gotta make progress, because if you don't make progress, you're gonna get so bored and you're gonna give up. Because it sucks to not move along. I know how much
that's
it
the biggest thing that stops new animators is they go so ambitious. They have this idea, and they say, I gotta animate every single finger and every single eyelash. It's like, no, just make him not even have a face. That's what Woko doesn't have a face. Nobody in that series has a face. You just gotta move on. Say it's fine.
The only way you're ever gonna get better or make progress is by finishing things and having closure with your work. Because otherwise you're just gonna set, and it's gonna set, and you're gonna show people unfinished things, and oh my goodness.
Don't be like me.
It doesn't have to be that way. Just say it's fine, guys. It's fine.
No. It's like, listen, I still remember when I was still on Stick Page, I would constantly show unfinished progress, and it was such a bother for everyone.
It's the disease of the whip.
Seriously.
I was so. It's like now looking back at it, I'm like so frustrated with myself.
Yep. I have a certain friend named Cam who is
Yeah?
infamous for not finishing stuff. And I'm trying to get him to do his own thing like this because, you just got to ease up.
Yeah.
Just get it finished. It's fine. 1 frame at a time.
Oh my gosh. 1 frame at a time, guys. That's the
One
only
frame
way
at a
you're gonna get
time.
things done. And
The new Dojo motto: 1 frame at a time.
guys. There's like a graph that I could draw right now of likelihood of finishing. And the moment at which it spikes down by probably 75-fold is the moment at which I show anybody when I'm not even close to halfway done. If I show somebody a storyboard, that storyboard will not become something. I can guarantee it. Like,
That's so true. That's
it may
so
not
true.
be for everybody, but for me, fact. I just...
And one thing that helps is, like, change it up. Change up the way you stream. Like, I know Stone has said this before, like, infamously back in 1945. What am I saying? He said, put on Flash, put on your music, and just go, But I want to change that. I want to say, switch it up. You got it. You can have the combination. You just music, Skype, and streaming. You can play music while you Skype and while you stream. You can play music while you Skype, or you can just play music and zone out and go. Just figure out the ways you want to do it, and just do it.
That was what John said. I was on John's stream like 2 weeks or 4 weeks ago, and he was like, because everybody keeps asking me like how I finish things, like how I get things done. Just do it. Just do it. Those are wise words from John, you guys.
Oh, somebody asked what my Twitch is, so I'm gonna go all out and say it's Atlas Downs, all one word.
Hyun,
Plugging.
do you ever stream?
Yes. Yeah. I use Picarto actually.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Picarto. Well, if you guys haven't heard, Picarto is the new art streaming website that's coming out. With the whole Twitch TV thing being all bogus and stuff like that. But yeah, basically it's just another streaming website, but it's mainly for art related stuff.
So now, I've just been told that my medium Twitch is bogus. Talk me through that, Hyun.
What? Oh.
I am a bogue.
What?
I'm trying to learn and understand. You're saying Twitch is bogus? Help me.
Well, from what I have heard, Twitch is
Gossip.
starting to like ban streams that aren't really around gaming. So that's why I moved on to.
They actually have a section called Creative. That's for.
I've never actually heard about that until like 2 days ago.
Here's the thing that I guess it's getting really popular. It's reaching people who even think Twitch itself is bogus. But I mean, not to say what was the word that you used for the streaming platform that you're on?
Picarto.
I'm gonna make a Picarto. I'm gonna give it a go. Done.
Maybe.
That's it. That's the end. No, factual, not maybe. It will be.
Maybe.
Hello, no. Yellow.
Maybe.
Guys, well, we were talking.
Guys, this might happen.
Fact though, I'm going to Picarto. I was saying something. We were saying, John, guys, finish your work. Just. And if you don't, get somebody to talk with and get them to work on stuff too. Boy.
Yeah.
Being in the presence of other people doing things, even if they're only there because you're doing things, it's the best.
Yes.
I give up.
Bepler and I, we just have work orgies where we just feed off of each other, and it's great. We Skype. We don't even have to stream sometimes. We just Skype and we get stuff done.
Get saucy.
And we motivate each other.
Yeah.
Ian, do you think the quality of your work improves when you're around somebody else who's doing quality work?
Yes. That actually feels like a thing for me.
Word for word.
I feel like that actually helps me make things make better things if I were to have like someone around me.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Warm. Slick. Simple. Motivation. Other people. Done.
Ty Lunar asks, question, for people who are starting out animation, do you think they should stream even though they're complete noobs, or wait until they're more competent animators?
I don't know. Yoon.
Well, it doesn't really matter if you're a beginner or not. I mean, for some people, they might feel insecure if they're to stream, and they would also be at like a beginner level. Like, to be honest, don't be discouraged if you're really was it if you're not that much of a good animator when you're streaming. Like, I feel like for those who are viewing other people's streams, don't just be there to look at how good someone is. Be there to actually give them feedback, comments, and other kinds of stuff. Like, I feel like people should start giving feedback and other ideas while a person animates, so that they can actually become a better animator, idea maker, thinker, all that kinds of stuff. Just being there and just to watch a person animate is not really helpful for anyone else.
Yes. And for the animator, I just want to say that don't use streaming at the beginning. Don't use it as a platform for you to get views or anything like that. Use it as something to keep you on track. You hit that stream button, and it keeps you on track. It keeps you moving so that you don't go somewhere else. So
it gives you accountability.
And then people will naturally start watching. And you'll get some friends. You can make some mods, and it's great.
For anybody, and this is anybody who streams, if you're putting your work and your process of your work out there, there is no way that there's not going to be somebody who says something like that the motion right there is too jumpy, or whatever.
Yeah.
And that is the best thing you can get. That's the most helpful,
embrace it,
interactive thing that if you're going to stream and you get that, good. Okay.
Yes. That's what the community's about, is helping each other.
Yes.
I mean, I know there's Phil wrote a thing about the types of criticism somewhere. I think it's in the Flamin' Rant. And that's one of the best things I've ever read. The good criticism, the bad criticism, and then negative and positive. Like,
we're quoting the greats here.
Guys, Phil's top notch. Go read his thing. Link dump. But like,
we need a link dump.
If somebody tells you something about anything you're doing on stream, love it. Say thank you just for caring about what you're doing. So you don't have to be there.
Yes.
So new people, if you're going to stream, be ready for people to say what they think. And if you're looking for motivation, it's a great platform. Great incentive to not goof off, because then people have to watch you goof off.
Yeah.
And you're not going to want to.
Like people go to Bepler's stream, I think, to exclusively watch him goof off. But that's another story.
I try, guys. I try to stay on the track. I get work done. I pump it out sometimes.
He tries his hardest.
Boy, I'm just looking around. First, Dojocast.
Sometimes Tory Bash gets in the way.
Guys, the Tory Jam, it will be finished, I promise. This mango has to go to somebody, I'm just not sure when. Things keep coming up, and Jeans Means is gonna get done. Man, everything. Hey, when you kicked it off with your first little live projector performance, what Flash were you on? What version?
I was using Flash 8.
Are you still?
Yeah, I'm still using Flash 8. It's like the most optimized and probably the fastest Flash version that I'll ever use in my lifetime. Yeah, it's really stable. The other versions, such as CS6 and all that kinds of other stuff, they require a loading time for saving, like a little saving bar, and then they also have an import bar. And I'm just sitting there waiting for it. I'm just like, I want to work. I don't want to wait for this.
I feel you. Okay. You and the things you say make sense.
If anyone feels you, it's Bepler.
God, with my hands and with my heart. 8 is so good, and it's so fast, and it's so slick, but darn it all, when I curve a line, and then I undo that curve, and I pull it by a point, it still thinks it's curved. Flash 8 is, it's got little sticky things like that.
I am a CS6 man for life.
Yeah, ever since the beginning, because I don't know if it was out.
Yeah, ever since I was born.
Wow, really? Wow. Were you coding it?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh! Breaking news.
I kept it secret for a long time.
I don't even think Adobe hadn't bought Flash yet when you were born.
my God.
Yeah, CS6, copyright 1997.
Wow.
AJ Downs.
Oh wow.
Guys,
Dude,
I know
do
what
you
the
know they're
headline is
ever-
tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Boy, you and I kind of cut you off there.
No, it's fine. It's just
Darn
a
it.
stupid joke.
Man, I really wanted to hear it. We can get back into it, I swear. Yellow, say it again. Say it copyright again. 1997, say it.
All right, copyright 1997.
Do you know that if they're ever going to make fixes to CC?
Speaking of CC, man, it sucks. It is the worst of all the
It is
flashes. I've been in all of them,
horrible.
and CC crashes on an hourly basis. It's not daily.
Yep.
It is like 1.2 times every hour.
Mm-hmm.
It's stinking pitiful. Golly.
You can't even use the brush tool properly.
Well, I
Properly.
can. My brush tool doesn't do that weird pixel thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Like the whole fidgety thing.
I think I know what you mean.
Well, I think we're getting into the details here.
Well, okay, sorry. I'll
Okay.
just back off. I mean,
We
Yeah,
should look at the
yeah.
big picture. Let's
Flash
look at the-
CC
Yeah.
sucks because it sucks and it's stupid and it
Mhm.
crashes and it's unstable.
Yes.
But those variable width strokes are worth it. Worth it forever. Man, they're beautiful. They are too good.
Mm.
In that motion graph editor. It's becoming more like Blender. So stepping on. Boy, guys, we've made a lot of progress to talk about. Okay. Hyun, do you have any final thoughts before we jump into our wrapping up type of thing?
What final thoughts?
I don't know. Typography thoughts?
Do you have any? Yeah.
Well, there was this one question that I wanted to answer. Was it what would take longer, typography or stick fights? I feel like,
Ooh,
Ooh.
can I answer that?
do it, man. That's
Yeah,
a good question
go
to pick.
ahead.
All right. Okay, so what would take longer, typography or stick fights? It all depends on the person's way of animating it and what idea you want to animate. Like for typography, it's probably going to take a lot longer because you actually have to make things look as smooth as possible because you're handling one of the most delicate objects ever. Like for text, it's really noticeable if you're to screw up one frame, and that with that one frame that's like ruined, it's gonna throw off the flow of that segment. For stick fights, like I'm being honest here, it's so easy and it's really easy to exploit. Like everyone just makes a combo.
so
just
quick,
type out,
yeah.
Like you just type out a combo, and then you could just animate it in probably the most illogical way. And to me, I feel really annoyed by that because nowadays a whole bunch of stick fights are all senseless and illogical combinations. And for me, in order to make a good stick fight, or well, I'm like throwing us off the original question. But so what would take longer? It all depends. For me, typography would take a lot longer than a stick fight. But if I were to make stick fights a lot more actually make sense, stick fights will probably take a lot longer because I really want to make it as real as possible.
Mm-hmm. Well, I just want to say one last thing. My last little piece of advice for
Guys,
people
it's
everywhere.
okay if we go over by an hour by a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Say your advice, Yellow. Say to the people what you want to say.
Listen up, all right? Listen up with all of your ears, okay? Break apart your text. Learn about breaking apart. Learn about it. Control B, Command B, right click, break apart. Do it twice.
Break
Make
apart
sure,
your text.
break it apart so that it doesn't look glitchy when you tween it.
Oh my god. Let me tell you something, people. You can break it apart, and that is the best thing you can do. Please turn it into a fill, symbolize it, tween it, move it by hand. Don't turn it into a symbol, whatever you want. Please. That is the most recommended thing. And if you're too lazy to do that, if you want it to stay text, please highlight your text or select it with the selection tool or the free transform tool. Go to your properties and doing that little drop down thing of the text type, put it on anti-alias for animation.
Mm-hmm.
But first, before you do that, just break it apart. Golly, that's
Yep, just break it apart.
break it apart.
Control B
Just break
twice.
it apart.
Not even hard. It's not even hard. Oh my goodness. Thank you, Yellow. Those were some wise words. Throwing thoughts for me. Keep your colors high contrast, people. I can't ever say it enough. I see too many light greens on dark greens. Just, ooh. I did a whole video about it. But in my typography tutorial, I talk about this. Just keep
Yeah, and just for people like tutorials, go to Flash Bepler on YouTube.
Hey,
he's got a bunch of tutorials going on there.
Guys,
follow him.
More typography tutorials coming soon now that this collaboration is launching. Oh, hey,
they are so good.
In about a half hour, guys, I want to touch on this for a second. In about a half hour, the post for the typography collab is going to be up. It's going to be in the collaborations section. I'm accepting parts for a reasonable amount of time. Okay, the way it's going to work is I'm giving a speech. It's pre-recorded audio with sound. You're going to get a little section of it to animate, like a little 5-second bit. And whatever you do between there and there is your choice. More on that later when the post goes out. But it's going to be fun. And I think I'm really hoping that it brings some people together to do something that they've never tried before. Yeah. On the hyunsdojo.com collaboration section in the forums. Otherall, boy, guys, this was a fun cast. We've still got recommendations to do. We've got the wazoo. And all's going to be good. I'll start. You know,
all right.
I'm going to say it right now. I have 2 recommendations for you people today. I want you to check out the Childline advertisement video. This is a put together by some studio. I think they were out of LA, and they teamed up with somebody else. I read about it. It's so good. It's like there's not a lot of music, and there's text on screen, and
it's really powerful. Like I had goosebumps watching it.
It hits you in the face. It's such a subtle use of graphics and text. Like I hadn't seen anything like
storytelling.
Just a whole story, like, and then a sub story just mixed up in one big thing on the screen. Secondly, there's this music video from like 2005 or 7 or something. It's old, but it's another good use. There's text on screen, but only one line of the text is ever actually spoken. It's like music, and then it's like they throw the screen around, they throw the letters around, and they just throw words on screen that aren't even there. But it looks so good. It's so smooth. Flickr mood.
It does.
Flickr mood, music video. Done. Yellow recommendation.
I actually want to see Hyun's first.
Hey, Hyun.
Well,
Let's hear.
Hyun.
I have two. Okay, so I have 2 suggestions. The first one is a music video for the song La Da Dee. I forgot the artist, but the music video has like this really cool and interesting kind of style to it. It's not like the usual typography or visual graphic kind of stuff, but it has this kind of traditional marker on paper kind of style with strings attached to it. It's kind of like those little puppet shows that you'd see where you have like this paper character with them moving around in this kind of like weird fashion, but it's like a really cool and interesting music video that I just can't stop watching, and like the style itself makes me want to do these other cool things. Now, my second suggestion is this guy named Potentially Kinetics, or Pokey for short. This guy does these really cool After Effects kind of motion graphics. He does typography, motion graphics. He does those. Basically, those are the only 2 things that he does, and his content is amazing. And the one video that we wanted to like suggest would be this parody or a different version to this one Apple commercial. There'll be a link to it somewhere in there. I don't know.
Linked up. All right. So mine is it's actually really cool. I am in love with it. I've watched it probably 5 times, and it's 30 minutes long. So that's kind of why I wanted to do it last, because I want you guys to see the first ones before you watch this. But definitely watch it. It's 30 minutes long. What it is I chose it because it's animation. It's made in After Effects, most of it is. But I just wanted to put across the aesthetic and the simplicity of just like getting it done, and like character design. Like, it's so simple. Just to create your own worlds. It's not realistic at all. It just looks really good with the colors. And it's called Late Night Work Club. It's their first compilation of animations that professional animators have made. And it's called Ghost Stories, and it's really cool. You just got to watch it. I will mention that it is like, viewer discretion is advised. There's some nudity and stuff in it.
Discretion is advised.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's really good. You got to watch it.
Well, fantastic, guys. You can find these links at the Hyun's Dojocast page, or in the description of the YouTube video that you might be watching it, or the SoundCloud audio file that we might not be able to pay for. When will these shirts be available? Well, guys, hey, these two shirts. I think they might be either $10 or $15, and I'll talk about it in the forum post.
That's really cheap.
For the Dojocast. Okay, guys? So look to there. It's in the general discussion. It says Dojocast. It's happening. That's it. Guys, this was the typography episode. We made it through against all odds. It's been an hour and 6 minutes of loverlessness.
Oh my god.
I didn't think we could talk about that for an hour.
I don't know how it even happened. No last minute questions? Oh, Yoon, what is it?
I want to give a few shout outs because apparently they want me to.
Out.
Shout out to my space buddies, and shout out to Joan and all of my other fellow companions and brethren and all of my gay brothers and stuff like that. It's not my birthday. It's not my birthday.
IRC. Everybody go join. Pound Space.
Yes.
Pound Space. Big shout out to our mods today. Mr. Reflex, the Con Man, Connor Apocalypse, Volpe Infinity, XLX Flexry, Dorange, and the love of my life, Mav Mighty. Would you sing us out, Yoon?
Okay, you guys better be my background singers.
Oh, we'll back you up.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Here we go. First I was afraid, I was petrified, kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. But then I spent so many nights thinking of how you did me wrong, and I grew strong. And I learned how to get along, to know you're back from outer space. I tried to find you here with a sad look up on your face. Should have changed that stupid lock. I should have made you leave your key. If I had known for just 1 second, you'd be back to bother me. So now go, walk out the door. Just turn around now. Guess you're not welcome anymore. Weren't you the one who tried to hurt me with your life? Did I crumble? Did I lay down and die? Oh, know that I will survive. Oh, and as long as I know how to live, I know I will survive. I got all my life to live. I've got all my love to give, and I'll survive. I will survive. Hey, hey. Oh.